Good morning, guys. I hope y'all having a great morning. I sure am. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's like 60 degrees out here in Austin. Beautiful, gorgeous. Sky looks awesome. Just on my way to work. And today is another morning motivation. And so the thing that was, and I kind of sat on this for a while, right? I was thinking to myself, like, why am I motivated this morning? Like, what's motivating me this morning? Why am I excited? Why am I thrilled to be alive? Why am I stoked to have another day in my hands? And to be honest with you, I couldn't think of anything at all. But one thing I started doing was like just looking around and like seeing people who are in their teens, 20s. I'm about to be 32. I saw like people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And there's so many people out there who, I was one. I remember when I was younger, I would look at people who were in their 30s and 40s and thought to myself, damn, that's old. Like, you're 30 or 40, man, you better have your life together. Like, you need to have a career already. You got to have some kids, a wife, a husband, something, right? Like, you need to have all your boxes checked out. Because one thing that I think we got taught at a lot as kids was, in your 30s, life needs to be figured out and done with, right? Like, if you're still trying to find yourself in your 30s, if you're still trying to carve a path for yourself in your 30s, if you're still trying to, find the one in your 30s, like, dude, like, that boat, that ship, that plane has sailed. And the truth is, that's bullshit, man. Like, being 32 right now, I feel way more alive than I did in my 20s. I'm a lot happier than I was in my 20s. I'm way more energized. I'm way more excited. I have a lot more vigor in me than I did in my 20s. And I'm happy. Like, I'm literally happy that I don't have life figured out. I think that's one of the biggest realizations I had when I hit 30 and 31, was, okay, I'm 31. I have somewhat of a career, like coffee roasting and in the coffee industry. Like, I'm there, and it feels like I could be there for a while. But I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, right? Like, I love coffee, and I think that's, a path that is for me. But I don't think that's the only path for me, you know what I mean? So one of the things that's just has been motivating me this morning, and it's been a while, I wake up with this idea a lot, is you're 30, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't have your life figured out. I'm not saying don't. I think that's another big lie that's being told to a lot of kids is, oh, like, you're not gonna have shit figured out until you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s. I think if I could have the same mentality that I do now in my 20s, life would have been a lot easier. Things would have been a lot easier. Things would have moved a lot quicker. And I think one of the biggest lies that I was told as a kid, and I think a lot of us was, you graduate, you go to college for like 8 years, you graduate college, and you still, like, right, like, you don't have to, like, you have this freedom of not finding yourself, right? Like, oh, take your time, and there was no like earnest, or there was no, what's the word, like, there was no eagerness to get to life, right? And I think the other thing that's been told to us is that life doesn't start until after you get a career, graduate, and all that. And the truth is, life starts the moment you wake up, and it's what you do with it that's going to determine your path in life. And so this morning, I'm waking up with just the joy of saying, you know what, like, I have my life figured out somewhat, but I don't have it all figured out, and it's okay. All I know is that I'm living my life one brick at a time, right? Like, I'm laying down a house, I'm laying down a path, I'm laying down a foundation and saying, it takes one brick at a time, and every day is that brick that you lay down, and you're saying, okay, today I'm doing this, tomorrow I'm doing this, The next day I'm doing this, right? And you don't know the, right? Like you don't, like you get bogged down on the mundane days, because to you it's just you're laying down bricks. And after a year goes by, you can turn around and see, wow, I'm almost done with the house, right? And then you get done with the house in 2 years, and you're like, all right, now we got to furnish the place. And 1 year is buying a sofa, the next year is buying a bed, the next year is buying a table. And right, like things happen slow, right? Things happen in a gradual pace. And so much of our society, either one tells us to just be slow and live in the slowness, and the other one says be quick and hurry the fuck up and get there and don't miss the boat. And I think both of those are wrong, because people are made in different ways, right? People are different, not everyone is made the same. And so maybe there are people out there who, are fast at life, right? Like they know what they want, they're going to go after it, and they kill it, and they're happy the rest of their lives. And then there's other people who, I would say I'm one of them, who I know what I want in life, kind of, and I like to tackle on multiple things at once to see which one sticks and see which one is a good path, right? So I can do 5 things, throw all those 5 things at the wall, do them all for like a year, and then evaluate which one was the best one and which one worked the best. And then, if it was 2 or 3, go after those 2 or 3 for another good year. And then again, stand back, evaluate, and then be like, okay, which one was the best of the 3? Coffee was that one, man. Like coffee was the one that kept sticking, and coffee was the one that kept, not just bringing in the money, but making the relationships and all that kind of stuff. So, that's when I found out I think I'm made for coffee. I think I'm made for the coffee industry. I think I'm made to be a roaster and, and a whatever trainer and all that. But it took time, right? Like I was a barista for about 8-9 years before I was ever a coffee roaster. And I'm happy with that now, right? Like a lot of people will look back and be like, whoa man, like 8-9 years and you're barely becoming a roaster. Like, don't you feel like you wasted time? And to be honest, no. I feel like there's a lot of learning for me to do, and there's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of inhaling that I needed to do before I exhaled this knowledge, and that's all I did, right? So the one thing that's really motivating me this morning is that I'm at a real good place in life, and I kind of said this yesterday, but I'm not where I know I'm gonna be. And I love learning new things. I love learning new crafts. I love trying new things out. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just learning. So when the next thing comes, I'm ready for it. So this is the day of preparation. This is the day of, of understanding myself, right? Reverse engineering the things I love, the things I want, my desires, like why I do what I do, and, getting like breaking it all apart, and then just like evaluating myself, evaluating my time, evaluating my relationships, and saying what is good for me and what isn't, what do I need to drop and what do I need to keep. So that's my motivation today, man, saying like, what, life is good, but I know it's going to be better, and I can't wait for the better. I'm excited for the better. I know the better is going to come, and I want to be ready for it, so that when it comes, I can use and fully enjoy it for what it is. You know what I mean? So that's the motivation today. I'm fucking pumped to get to work. I'm pumped to roast some coffee. I'm pumped to like just take on this life that I have today, because who knows, I can die today, tomorrow. So death is a reality for me at all times, because you don't know when it's going to come for you. So every single day I try to enjoy it. So today's another beautiful day. I got my Topo Chico with me, so that makes it an extra badass day. I hope you guys have a badass day. Leave some comments below, like what motivates you, like what's motivating you right now, what's motivating you today, what's motivating you this last week. All right, see y'all later.